Welcome to the Race Factory. I am having such a pleasure of inviting my friends to this little live stream show on Facebook. Tonight I'm going to do the awkward thing again. I'm going to talk English to a guy I normally talk a native language to. It's going to be an hour plus with my friend Erik Stark from the Victory team. But before we catch up with Erik, have a look at this happy moments. Erik Stark, welcome to the Race Factory.
Thank you very much.
It was a lot of happy moments from the 2018 seasons. I want to talk to you today about your whole career from the juniors to Class 1 because you are one of my few friends where I can say we've done from the small junior classes to Class 1, all of them, both categories. But the video from 2018, which we showed here, when you started out in the beginning of the season, not even having a team, and you just got into Formula One racing for the Maverick team, and then you went on, you won London and so on. Tell us a little bit about the 18 season to start with, Eric.
18 was a crazy year, you know. I think it was 1 week before the race. I didn't even have a team.
Yeah.
And then on, I think the Sunday before the race in Portimao, Cedric called me like, "Hey, I have a spot for you. You want to come?" And from Stockholm to Portimao, it's around 4,000 kilometers. So Monday day, me and my father was speaking, like we didn't really have the money to do it the full season. And my father wanted to, like, we didn't want to do one race only.
No.
So, but after a while, we were like, okay, we have money for the European races. So, okay, let's go. So Monday evening, I packed the car and my dear friend Christian, I called him like Monday afternoon. Can you come to Portimao with me? And he has 3 kids and, a family. And he's like, yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
So we started to go. He drove down with me for 1,000 kilometers. The day after, he fly home because he needed to work. So he didn't even watch the race.
Okay.
So very nice. Portimao was a shit race, really. I blow engine, everything was just in a rush. We came home, we recharged our batteries, went for London. London, first time for me, even racing in London. And many years ago, Formula One was there, and it was a big race. Come there, we took the pole, and we won the race. Like, it was like super crazy, and what to say? It was a dream come true. And
was this a turning point in your career?
Yeah, it's one of the best. For sure, it really changed my life and the career.
Yeah.
What happened after, and that was quite fun actually, because as I told you before, me and my father, we had saved some money to do the European races. Like we had the budget for that, and he was like, when me and my father drove down to London with the car, with the boat, like with a small trailer, like in the back in the old days.
Yeah,
And on the way down, he was like, I really hope like it will be hard if like you do very well and you're in the top of the world championship, and then we cannot race the full season.
yeah.
And we were like, we see if that happened. What happened. So I won the race. I was second in the championship. So on the way back, we were looking at each other like, shit, this was exactly what we were speaking about.
You didn't even hope for that.
Yeah. And I can tell you, like, maybe 10, 20 minutes after, I got a phone call. Like, this was like 7, 8 in the morning. So it was like early. So I know something was, or no, maybe it was the midday. I don't really remember. And it was Scott G. Gilman calling me to offer me a place in Victory Team. And I was like, wow. And, it was amazing. And now, okay, let me have a talk with my father.
Yeah.
I hang up the phone and Guido called me. Offer me a place in Abu Dhabi.
That's one of my two biggest icons in the sport nowadays. I mean, Scott Gilman on one hand, Victory Team, and then Abu Dhabi. Did you feel like you were on top of the world?
I didn't really know what's happening. Like 2 weeks earlier, I didn't even have a team. Now I needed to pick from the best 2 teams in the world.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And no pranks, no joke phones, no pranks. It was not your friends who was pranking you.
This kind of people don't do that. No, and and after that, I decided to go with Guido. So I arrived home like Tuesday night. He booked me to a flight Wednesday morning, 6 o'clock to Sardinia to sign the contract with him. So and then
rest is
fantastic
history.
Season. Yeah, it's a good story.
Definitely. Eric, I have known you for our adult life. We have raced together on a couple of occasions, and I have actually been one of the guys that has been put a gold medal around your neck. In 2012, we had a fantastic race in Norway, and you made a double out of it with your special friend, Mr. Dynamite. Tell us a little bit about that crazy weekend in Norway.
Like always, it's like everything happened for a reason. And me and Roland, we tested a lot at his summer house. Mm-hmm. So 1 week before we left, me and Roland came up with a super clever idea that maybe Roland should try the Formula 2 boat.
Okay.
Yeah, super good. Yeah, first turn, he cut the buoy. And in the buoy, it was a metal thing. So we destroyed the ponton.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea, like 2 days before we were supposed to leave for that. It was not the second last, I think.
Yeah, second last.
But I had the chance to win it there.
Yeah.
The championship, the world championship. So, I called my friend Rasmus that was living in Norway at that time. Like, hey, can you repair the boat when we're coming there? So, because we had it was a big, long race, I remember, with many days with Thundercat and some other classes. So we had some days to repair it, and we repaired it. And then, we had a super nice qualifying. I think I took the pole. Then I won the race. Like, I drove so good that race. Like, I really enjoyed that race. I won the race, and Roland was my radio man always. So, and directly after the finish of that race, we won the world championship. So it was super. Everyone was so happy, and big cheering. And we needed to jump in the boat of the Thundercat because Roland and me were driving in Thundercat the world championship as well. Mm. So the start was directly after the finish of the Formula 2. Mm. So from off with the overall, on with the wetsuit and the life jacket and with the helmet on. And directly to the start, and we were like speaking to each other, like, "Hey guys, Roland, come here. We need to chill down, because we were so pumped because winning the world championship. Like, we need to relax and do this race now." And we did a fantastic race. Roland drove amazing, and we won the world championship again. So two world championship in 1 hour.
So Norway is not all that bad for you, is it?
No, it's just expensive.
And let's make it a little bit bad. Let's make it a little bit painful because my special Habibi Marit,
Yeah.
she had a pretty good corner on you in that 18 movie. Tell
Yeah.
us about that.
Um,
She
um,
slammed the door in your face, didn't she?
yes, 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 literally, literally. But before we had such a good fight, like you can't really see from the corner before. Like we were like maybe 30 centimeters from each other, and we were turning like that. And in 200 kilometers per hour, it's when you turn, it's going quick.
Yeah.
But still, we were staying at the same distance. Maybe she needed to go out a little bit, but then she came on the outside, and I don't know. I was really thinking I had the space there, but she has balls.
She has definitely balls. Before we continue, I want to flip on a little video which I put together. It's starting with a little boat and it ends up with a couple of big bangs. So let's have a look at this ones because it has not always been success.
Normally, I'm driving Formula One for Victory Team, but then a couple of months ago, they called me and asked if I wanted to come and join them for a race in Florida. Like, never been to Florida, never raced Class One, so it was an easy yes. It's a boy dream to drive one of these boats once in your life. So like right now, I'm living my dream. So it's really amazing.
Right now, I'm living my dream, and I faded it out with the picture you just sent me with you sitting on the beach in Abu Dhabi with your Formula One boat. I, I included the clip from Drammen where you and Pierre Lundin was fighting for the Scandinavian Championship, and Pierre actually ended up on the beach. I
Yeah,
I also included the blowover in Stockholm where you came back and won it after you did the 360. It's been
yeah. I
some.
was just
It's
I was
been
just
some.
supposed to say the both stories has a really videos has a big, fun story. The Drammen one was
Do or
we
die.
had. Yeah, we had 4 heat racing in the Nord. I think it was the Nordic
It
Championship.
was, yeah.
Yeah, so it was 4 heat. So 3 heats on the Saturday and one on Sunday. And I won the 3 first heats, so I was done. I was already winning. But on the Sunday they had, and we wanted to go out and party on the night, like have a good night,
Yeah.
me and the boys. But on Sunday they had live TV, and at like this time live TV for was not like it never happened.
No.
So it was a big thing. So the organizer was like, "Please, Erik, can you race? Can you race? We know you don't need it, but please race."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I race." And then my father like, "Okay, take it easy now, Erik." Yeah, yeah.
Of course.
So that was the start straight.
Yeah.
So I did 300 meters, and then I lost half the boat,
Yeah.
and I lost the engine. Like my father was not super happy.
No, I remember his face. I remember where. But I also know that you managed to stop Pierre Lundin from catching a victory. So
Yes. Yeah, so far he never beat me. So
oh, he never beat you.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
We have a lot of friends and followers on this live stream, Eric, and we have
Cool.
Brendan Kelly coming in from South Africa. We have Phil Buckley, we have Sebastian, we have Alistair down in Abu Dhabi, and so on. And to all of these guys, I would like to say, and now your friend Paul Shepard, you raced against him
Ah,
in South Africa. He is now
I,
promoting.
I was living at his place for many months.
Oh,
Stayed
really?
with his family. Yeah, I stayed with his family for. I was living there for a couple of months, maybe a half a year. I don't remember really.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Uh,
I know
uh,
Paul is working very hard to get the championship up and running down in South Africa. Uh,
yeah,
what I want to say to all these friends and followers, pop a question. Erik is prepared to answer as good as he can. Lady stories, he's going to deny all of them, I'm pretty sure. But we have a very good partner, and John Moore at the Powered Racing World. He has prepared some questions for you, Erik. And the first one is you raced for Victory Team in Class 1 International at the Roar Offshore event in Florida last October. Since then, the government of Dubai relinquished control of the Victory to Dubai International Marine Club. Does the team plan to race in the APBA series this year? And has anything been discussed about racing across the pond? So,
like we don't know what's happening in racing now with the corona over the world, like how this season will end up. So I think we need to wait until we get the calendar before we can make some decision what to race or where we should race.
tell us a little bit about your situation, because that can actually go straight into the fourth question, which Mr. John Moore had. Obviously, Sweden is challenged nowadays because they have chosen to take a different approach on the COVID-19 pandemic, allowing shops, restaurants, and bar and so on to be open. With this in mind, will it be more likely to see some powerboat racing in your country? Do you think that Sweden can open up before, or what is your opinion on this?
Um, I'm not really like knowing what the plan is in Sweden, but what I'm hearing is that they will try to do some races. At least we try to book some races, so we keep the hope up. For people that so we have something to look forward to. And so far, like it's working quite well in Sweden. People listen to the government, and some nightclubs have been closing, and I just read today that they closed some this weekend because it was the pay weekend in Sweden. So
Yeah.
some people went crazy and they shut down the nightclub then. So if you don't follow the rules, you get shut down.
Okay.
And some restaurants are closed, but in general, it's working well. Like people keep distance, but I don't know. I really hope we can do some racing. Still, we have a rule. I think it's maximum 50 people for an event.
Yeah.
So as long as we have that,
Impossible.
yeah. Even the junior races, because with just families, we are more than with the drivers and families, we are more than 50. So
Exactly. They just gave us the news now in Norway that from 15th of June onwards, we are allowed to have crowds up to 500. And
okay.
many of the national races could then take place, I would assume. But anyway, on Thursday, the coming Thursday, we are going to know what is the, how can I say, precaution we have to do and so on.
Yeah.
Questions are popping in, and Klaus Hansen has asked a question. He says, you have tried Formula One and Class One. What is the coolest?
It's Class One is it's a boy dream, like I said. It's so big boat.
Yeah.
With so much horsepower, and the acceleration is amazing. It's 5-6 tons that accelerate like a Porsche. It's a cool class, but Formula One is it's how do you say, closest to my heart. I'm driving circuit races and since I was 12. I believe Formula One is more difficult. It's more about the drivers there and less about the material.
But honestly, first time you stepped into the Class One, flat out, I've done it, so I know the answer to my answer to this one. How did you feel when you went into that corner? I mean,
Hey,
144.
I was with this very nice guy, John Thomason, and he was doing the throttle, and we were doing a left corner in, I think, 152 miles or 151 miles. And he just looked at me and told me, like, we don't want to flip here.
No, exactly.
And no, it was crazy because you don't turn like a normal boat. You have the rudder.
Yeah.
So, for me to drive it, it's like it's spinning all the time a little bit. but it no, for sure it was super cool.
Tell us a little bit about your start in the small monohull boats back in Sweden.
I started. My parents bought a summer house in the like north of 2 hours north of Stockholm. And our neighbor there was same age as me, and his father was doing racing before. So, you know, we were doing water ski and like wakeboarding, and we were like 11, two kids from Stockholm, never drove a boat before, quite dangerous.
Yeah.
So our father was like, okay, maybe you should go to school to learn how to drive normal boats. And this school was, of course, a racing school.
Yeah.
So we did. I was there like for 6 months, I think, every week. My father drove me 45 minutes back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the last week of the course, we went out to an island in Stockholm for like a camp for the weekend with all the kids, and they had some boats with them to try.
Okay.
How difficult do you think it's to convince a 11, 12-year-old kid that wanted to do motocross, but my father didn't want me to. He didn't want to stand in the mud watching me.
No.
So yeah, of course I was loved it, and then it was the Pernilla Blomqvist. She was the one pushing so much and helped me to borrow a boat and everything. So she's one of the main character that made it possible for me to start. So after that, I borrowed a boat. I was looking at that time. We didn't have like internet to watch on ads. So I bought a newspaper to look for boats. I find the boat for like 2,000 euros.
Yeah.
My father was like, "Hey, forget that I ever buy you a boat for 2,000 euros."
Yeah. I bet he spent more than 2,000 euros now.
Yeah, at some point I had one Formula 1 and one Formula 2, so I told him what happened with that.
Yeah.
No,
have your father ever raced?
No, never.
Never raced?
Not even car. But he always had an interest for racing, He's super passionate about Formula 1 cars, and I know when he was young, they went with their friends to watch like rally and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the first then we borrowed a boat, and then we bought our first boat. And the first race with that one, I was on the podium. It was my first season, like last race of the season. So you needed to go to scrutineering after.
Yeah.
So the guy told us, take away the carburetor. Me and my father was looking at each other like, what the fuck is that? What's that? And how do you take it off? And from that it is. And, we have been doing everything together, it's quite a nice thing we do. And since I started when I was 12, he had missed one race in China, XCAT.
That's it, the only thing.
Yeah, only race he ever missed.
Erik Volgethan asks, have you ever had a speed ticket on water?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Yes. And it's very expensive in Sweden.
Really?
Yeah. We have so many like 5 knots in around Stockholm in my area.
Yeah.
And especially one night we were going, on the way back from the nightclub. At that time, it was okay to drive and drink.
Okay.
When I was young, Now it's a rule against it. But yes, we always take the boat home.
Yeah.
Because my parents live by the sea, so we have their own jetty.
So a speed ticket on water it is.
Yep.
Let me scroll through a couple of questions here, Erik. Sven Kreckels from Germany. He is on this show every time, and hello to Sven.
Fun.
Yeah.
Sven.
And he is asking the question like you've done before. In German, all restaurants are closed, so you have to order pizza with home delivery. And I want to ask Erik something private. He says, pineapple on a pizza, yes or no? Ananas.
I just ordered a food delivery pizza before this one.
Yeah.
But no, pineapple, no, not on pizza.
No? You're not a Hawaiian pizza guy?
No.
Let's get back to some powerboat racing questions, Erik. Brendan Kelly, he is asking if you can say who, in your opinion, is the best Formula One driver at the moment. Is it a nutcase in America, or is it a crazy guy up in the Swedish, no, the Finnish woods, or?
This one is a tricky question. Uh, my favorite driver is Jonas. Is one of my best friends. And I think he's. I think we are a few drivers at the same level. Like some race, some do better than the others. It's so much. You need to have a race weekend is so much more than just the driving. It's you need some luck. Or at least you cannot have bad luck.
No.
Do things at the right moment, and it's so many things. And I think top 5, 6 in F1 is equal.
Yeah.
Maybe even top 8.
Jonas was very unlucky this year. I mean, he did what he had to do in the last couple of rounds, and still Sean snatched it from him just in front of his nose. Did you cry for Jonas?
Yeah, I was super sad. I know, because I had a little bit the same moment the year before. I was Sean needed to be like 5, and I needed to win Sharjah, and he was, I think, 4th or 3rd.
Yeah.
And I won. Like when you do what you like, you do everything you can, and you do it correct perfectly, and it's not enough. For Jonas it was even worse. Because he had it.
Yeah.
Until the last lap. We spent all night together, and yeah, he was sad.
And you could share the moment from last year.
Yep.
Let's see here. We have a lot of the questions are popping in, so that's super good. I hope they continue. We have another gentleman, Paul Furman. He has been on this show, and he says, "Hi Eric, I have watched you race Formula 2 in Nottingham and Formula 1 in London. What is the main difference required in driving style for these two types of tunnel boats?" So, what is the difference between Formula 1 and Formula 2?
Oh, that's when I started with Formula 2, Jonas was the one tricking me into it. Like it's not so difficult, and he tricked my father. It don't cost so much money.
No. Are they started?
Yeah, there's difference. So in the end, and he was the one pushed me into Formula 1 too. Of course, he said no, the difference are not so much, and in driving, and hey, it took me 3 years to get to the top in Formula 1. Formula 1 is the driving style is so hard. Like you need to be so tough, and the boats are the same as the Formula 2, but like almost not all, like almost double the horsepowers. So you can really feel Formula 1. It's a too small boat with too many horsepowers. Like it's really a wild animal.
Luis Miguel Ribeiro, he is asking a question, the officer of the day. Hi, Eric. Racing with number 74 was a turning point in your driver career.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. 2 times I've been back to Maverick and drive with the 74, and then I got an offer to Abu Dhabi, and then I went to Victory next time. So,
so definitely.
But still, me and Cedric are friends. So with the Maverick team. So.
How is the friends situation? Because I spoke to Sean Torrente, and we discussed how to make the sports more popular. I mean, he pointed out clearly that him and Alex Carella were not friends at all. They didn't even like each other, and he was joking, calling you a fool in private life, and he was trying to wiggle it up a bit. But honestly and truly, how is the situation according to you amongst the drivers?
From my side, I like everyone. Okay, some people are more close than other ones, but I really don't hate anyone. I'm Swedish. We don't. We just.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
Like we don't fight with anyone. Yeah, but of course, people hate me sometimes, and probably people don't like me so much. Some people, but I think in general, like people like me as a driver and as a person. So. I think I really like Formula 1 right now. It's very fun at the races, and after the races, we're a good gang.
Perfect. If you like the show, I would like to encourage you to share this stream. We're going to continue for another good, at least half an hour, depending on the questions coming in and so on. I have told Erik to keep a glass of water ready, and we are going to put on a new question, Erik. This is from the commentator from today's Formula One race, Jason
Oh.
Mantrip. He says, hello to both of you. What is Erik's opinion on the London race course, and how would he preferred a pontoon start? Also, how was his new steering wheel today in the virtual Grand Prix?
London was okay. We had in Nottingham, we had the 2-pin course, but we never raced that actually, and I think we should have like a different race courses. And 2-pin is I like. Okay, I won the race, so it's of course I like the race, but I liked it. And okay, in London it was difficult to have normal
start?
pontoon start because it was very narrow, but. Yeah, it would be no problem. I think we sometimes should have like a course like that, to make it different.
Alistair Nyler, he is in Abu Dhabi team, and on the safety side there, he says, Erik, how can we help to encourage new talent to get involved with our amazing sport? How do we get them on board?
Like in Sweden, I can just say from my point of view, we actually doing quite well. We have, we are a small country, and 2 years ago we had 3 Swedish drivers in Formula One, and in F2 we have been quite strong too.
Successful, yes.
Yeah, and like I do it like with my club. We have a driver school for kids from I think 9 to 11 years old that normally I run with some other people. So that was supposed to be like a couple of weeks ago, but we needed to cancel it this year for Corona. But and from that one, we have like 10, 12 kids, sometimes 15. And always from that, maybe 4 or 5 of them start to race. And, you need to have the big amount from the beginning. So because some people like stop on the way.
Yeah.
When they are young, they play hockey, they play football, they do so many things, and if we get 20 people driving GT50, maybe 10 goes to next one, and it goes on like that.
Because not many people are so stupid as us to go all the way.
Exactly.
Jason, he had also a question regards to your new steering wheel on the virtual Grand Prix. How was that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You didn't see the results today? Best result ever for me.
Yeah.
I qualified second, but then, of course, Sean Torrente couldn't go into the pit lane in the good speed, so I crashed him from behind and got five places penalty on the grid. But I finished 4th, so yeah, I'm super happy.
Did you beat Sean?
Yes.
Okay, that's good then. That's good.
But I must say this was the first time in these 3 races. So.
Joachim Halvorsen, he says, you need to practice tonight, Erik, for the upcoming 5th Formula One Home Grand Prix. How is it to drive without radio help from Anders?
No, it's always nice to hear his voice. He has been my radio man for many years now, and we work very well together. And many people don't see how many people is behind a driver, and especially behind me. Helping me, from mental health. To my training, to my social media, and the team, the guys doing the mechanic, my father, my family. It's so many people behind, and it's always focus about the drivers and sometimes radio mans, but they do a lot of job. In my F2 career, the team was everything for me. They even picked my propellers without even I had nothing to say.
Tell us a little bit about your guys in Formula 2, because that was a very special relationship you had with Micke and the boys. They were
it like simple. We were like we have been friends since we were kids. We were like best friends, and we were around from 22 to 27 or something, traveling around Europe. How fun could you have?
No.
Winning, and we won every race.
Yeah.
The life was at top. We had so much fun driving around Europe. Me, Mike, and Mike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then normally Roland and my father, they fly to the races. And then in the end, I changed people a little bit. Roland stopped, and then we brought in Lillis. So yeah, we had so much fun, and it was a good time in the life. And everyone was young and wanted to see Europe, and everyone loves racing.
Of course.
And we were close friends. So how can it be better?
I mean, now everybody would say from a distance that it have to be better right now because you're with Victory Team, but it also is a special moment when you are with your friends winning trophies and everything is a
Yeah.
team spirit. I'm not saying.
Yeah, of course. Don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong. Victory now. It's amazing. I'm a professional boat racing driver. And driving for Dubai government. It's quite cool. And
Would you have been there? Would you have been there without the boys?
Yeah, the boys in the Victory are amazing too.
But I mean, do you think that you would have reached your level without your friends?
Never ever.
Never ever.
No. They I told them every race and all the time, you are a part of this more than me because we were testing for 4 years. We were testing 3 times a week, all the summer, every time.
Okay.
And they were with me. Pull down the boat, pull up the boat.
Yeah.
We didn't have a car. We pulled by the hands, and went out. Always test new things. Roland was grinding propellers all days. So we had new things to test every time we went out on the water.
Yeah.
And I think the success is because of that. I just drove.
Yeah.
Before every race, I drove maybe 300-400 laps. So it was easy. It was playing game for me.
Exactly.
Okay, it was not easy, but the work they did,
Yeah.
They mostly the work, the physical one at least.
Let me see. I have also the job as the producer of this one, so there is coming in a lot of questions here. Let's see. Freitas Nu says, "Hi Erik and Frode. Talk about your opinion about Marit Strømøy. She improved a lot as a driver and team. How hard is it to race against Marit? Regards from Ribaduro." So
Moritz is one of my closest friends in F1 too. So she's what you think? She's super hard.
I destroyed a lot of boats trying to keep up with her.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
No, but she's very good and very fun driver. She always happy. She always smiling. She always congratulates other people. She's super fair driver and a nice person. I've been with her. I helped her even. I did mechanic for her too.
I started. You even teamed up with her for a while.
Yes. In Formula 2, I was with her.
Is there
when Jonas was running our team, me and Marit and Mikke Fors.
But didn't you also race together with her in Formula 1?
Yeah, in Emirates.
In Emirates, yes.
I did 2 races with Jonas, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, and the year after I did with Emirates and her.
Is there any driver in the Formula 1 scene that has been on so many teams as you?
No.
I don't think so.
You should see my closet with all the team clothes.
Yeah, quite impressive.
Yeah.
I wish I could pull up an old photo now. I can't. But on that photo, which I particularly wanted to show, we had a friend of us, Ola Pettersson, on top of the podium. I mean, you were kids, but now, and you were 4th or 5th, I believe, and Jonas was the big hero in the monowall. But he says he's obviously been sneaking on you some pictures. He says, "Why don't you have a DAC wheel with paddles when you drive Formula 1? You use the rocket switches, don't you?"
Yeah. Hey, ask Jonas. He was the one getting me into that one.
Yeah.
And I think it's just us Nordic drivers that drives like that. Even 2018, Guido wanted me to change to his steering wheel because he said my one was so ugly.
Yeah.
So so we spent so many hours in Abu Dhabi with the Formula 1 to try that steering wheel and do the paddles and the foot. and I was actually okay, but the problem was when it's like it was getting stressed.
Yeah.
I did mistakes because
Yeah.
you know
You switched
to
on to
drive a from
automatic.
yeah to drive a Formula One boat, you don't need to think. It need to be like do bicycle or walking. You know.
Yeah. Paul Shepard, he is putting on a technical question. Let's see if we can understand this one. He is
Ooh.
saying, in your opinion, what is the difference between the engines in South Africa and the F1 World Series? Okay, you've been there.
Yeah. I've been racing. They're racing the old Formula One,
Yeah.
2 liters EFI, and now we race 2.5.
More
And
acceleration.
of course, there's more power in the F1 in the world, but the boats are lighter in South Africa. I had such a good time there. You know, they're tuning the shit out of that engines.
Hardcore racing.
Yeah, it's hardcore racing. Just like you're standing on the beach with one holding the boat in the water, and like, yeah, just go. You know, it's very fun racing, and I really met so many friends there, and I hope I can go back soon. I actually spoke with Paul like yesterday. No, 2 days ago, Friday. I
Yeah.
spoke with him.
He's putting on a hot show. Well,
Yeah.
Marit says, I have the rocket switches too, she said. So,
Yeah, I know. I say Nordic drivers.
yeah.
Yeah.
You, Marit, and Jonas. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, one of actually our crane driver. He is a super cool guy. Have you seen the guy with the mustache, which is launching the boats here in Tønsberg? His name is Morten. He is following our
Okay.
sport. Anyway, he says, I know you want questions for Erik, but can I ask if you think there will be a Tønsberg boat race this year? Well, to answer that question, and you've been here a lot of times, Erik.
Yeah.
Last year, thank you very much. You helped us out on the live stream. I didn't know that before afterwards, you know. But well, when it comes to Tønsberg, we are having a final decision from the government on Thursday. They have now said that we can have events up to 500 people and with the 2 meter social distance and all that. But it's first on Thursday. We will know. So by the end of next week, we will take a decision. Of course, everybody wants to race. Maybe we have to race without spectators. What do you think about that, Erik?
No.
You don't like it?
No. I think like if we should do it, like we should do it in the correct way. You know, it's a sport for the people. So and I don't think like it's how can I explain it? It's you know to do without spectators. I don't think it makes no difference for the government.
But if we are in a situation where we can live stream the events and put on a safe race for the competitors, we would at least be entertaining the audience in this way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, maybe I haven't even think about it.
It's a new situation.
Okay. I want to race, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
Another guy who wants to race is one of our guests. His name is Brett, and he says, I'm starting to race SST 120 in UK. Any tips, please? Well, you obviously said practice, 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 practice.
Yeah, it's the only like it's no shortcuts. I'm sorry to say, you know, and yeah, you just need to practice. Stay in Formula 2 many years before going up to Formula 1. You know, I was doing Formula 2 for like maybe 7 years or something before, and the last year I was like winning every race and you know really on the top. And I came to Formula 1, and I was in the middle of the field.
You had your ass kicked.
Yeah, I had my ass kicked. You know, so the level is very much higher, and you get so much training in Formula 2 and even in Formula 4.
Let me check here the questions. We have our partner, Powerboat Racing World, and John Moore. He has prepared a question. He says, you described 2019 as one of my worst seasons. Before the pandemic hit and the world changed, did you genuinely think that you and the Victory team could challenge for the 2020 Formula One H2O World Championship? Did you have anything in place to make that challenge?
Yes,
Easy,
like
yes.
yes, of course. You see how we ended the season. I was quickest on all the free practice. I was second or third on the quali, and okay, I needed to brake directly because of a shit fault that no one could. It was no one's fault. It was just a thing that shouldn't happen, but it happened. It never happened before. So yeah, we worked so hard with the boats and the engines, like the engine guys in Victory. I don't know how many hours they spend in the dyno and everything to find the setup, and because China was not the race we want to remember as a Victory team.
No.
So we just say to each other, let's work and come back strong in Georgia, and I think we really showed something there, and we were so on this season. We were ready to go.
Well, let's see. We have talked about the Victory team for a while now, and I picked up a little video which is an amazing show from the Dubai Boat Show, and it shows a bit more than just race boats. So let's have a look at this video, and we will be back with more questions to Erik. Here we have Dubai Victory video. One second. That was a beautiful promotion video, Erik, with the Victory team on the Dubai Boat Show. Obviously, the show this year got cancelled because of the COVID-19, but it showed not only Victory pleasure boats, it shows also the old race boat, which was designed by Victory team. And Christopher Gulbrandsen, he is asking if you are going to try the Victory team boat in 2021.
You mean the Formula One?
Yes, the Formula One, the Victory build one.
No, the plan is now we order 3 brand new DSCs, so we will work on that once. And before it's an engine change, I think we will stick with the boats we have now. I really like the new one we got. Guido and the guys really made a good boat for me. And I think we will keep working what we have. The line we had before Sharjah and after Sharjah was really working in Sharjah, so we will continue that on that path.
How often do you speak with the guys down at Victory team? I mean, the factory is probably up and running, and the boys are working there. But how often do you speak with them, and when do you see yourself down in Dubai again? Is there any ideas?
I'm speaking with them quite often. It's okay now. It's nothing to speak about, and we didn't have any so much to speak about. Dubai is in lockdown now still. I just spoke with Franco today, that is the team manager.
Yeah.
That they will just work a little bit tomorrow to unload a container or something. But in any case, they don't really know when they open and start work again. So they have been in shutdown for a couple of weeks now.
Really? Also the factory?
Yeah, everything in Dubai. You're not allowed to go out.
The Victory team, one of the questions from John Moore is coming up here on the screen. Victory team drivers Salam Al-Didi and Isa Al-Ali made a return to the XCAT World Championship in Dubai last year. You have been racing with the Swedish XCAT team, Swedcat, in the XCAT Championship. Have Victory ever talked about you racing for them in that season?
As I told you before, we really don't know, because we have no calendar in XCAT, we have no calendar in Formula One, we have no calendar in Class 1, so no one knows what we will do or what we can do even. Like, it doesn't matter if we decide to do Class 1 now or Formula 1 now, because it's nothing to drive. So exactly. I think before any decision will be made, we need a calendar where we should race and who will race where.
Talking about the Class 1, talking about the offshore. Erik, should we play the little video with the Class 1 fairy tale over in America?
Yeah.
Here at Fort Myers Beach, the Class 1 teams are getting ready for the final race of the season. And for this round, the victory team are fielding not one, but two boats. This should be exciting.
Normally I'm driving Formula 1 for Victory Team, but then a couple of months ago they called me and asked if I wanted to come and join them for a race in Florida. Like, never been to Florida, never raced Class 1, so it was an easy yes. You know, it's a boy dream to drive one of these boats once in your life. So like right now I'm living my dream, so it's really amazing.
We tested both boats today. We spent a lot of time in the Victory Team boat today. Me and Erik did 9 laps, his first time in this boat, so getting him some seat time, but he's an excellent driver, and you know, just getting in the feel for this boat compared to what he does in F1. I think we know what we're going to do tomorrow with that boat. This boat, we got a real good feel for it. I think the weather tomorrow is going to be identical to today, so I think we're going to be in real good shape in this boat.
And there's the green flag. We are underway in Fort Myers Beach. Off to an early jump is the number 3 victory boat with Salim Aladidi and Elsa Alali out front. Geico kind of getting squeezed a little bit as the number 33 victory boat is pulling up alongside. On the outside is 222. Our one lone V-bottom running in the class Lucas Oil on the extreme outside. So victory number 3 out front. About a rooster tail behind is the second boat as we go on board with Erik Stark and Johnny Tomlinson in victory number 33. And off to the inside there is a number 3 as number 33 makes a run hard on the outside, pushing the number 222 boat farther to the outside, which is going to give them a tough place to be when they get to that left-hand dogleg. As we go back on board with Erik Stark and Johnny Tomlinson in victory number 33. 222 tries to split them. 222 is really trying to find some clean water to find a way to get around these two boats. And right now, victory 33 is challenging number 3, John Tomlinson, moving that boat out to the front, along with Erik Stark. Has him by just about a nose, but he's on the outside, so he's going to have to let off a little bit. That's going to allow the number 3 boat to hold on to the lead as 222 comes in behind him, as 222 now drives by John Tomlinson and Erik Stark. They are definitely slowing down. Looks like they might have had a Guardian situation cause them to drop off, but that puts 222 solidly in second place here in Fort Myers Beach. Let's take a look at the results here in Fort Myers Beach. The win goes to Victory Team number 3, followed by 222 offshore, Victory Team 33, and Miss Geico.
Happy moments in offshore racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the questions that came in here was from, let me scroll back to it. Dana Peterson says, will you be coming to Key West for the offshore race if we have it? I mean, you have basically answered that one, but the questions are coming in.
If I say like this, I would move to Key West if I could. Like, I love that place.
Definitely. We have talked about also the technical part of the sport, Erik. And Jason Manfred, he said, when you raced the Formula 2, Erik, you saw the changes from the old 120 to the Optimax. How hard was it to make the change? And with the treat of a new engine coming into Formula 1 now, how hard will it be to make the change?
Yeah, what can I say? I can't even count how many hours we spend to learn the new engine and the propellers and the setup of the boat. So yeah, of course, a change is tricky, but I believe change always is good. You know, it's we need to move forward, and everyone was so.
Thanks God, English is not going to pay for it.
No, but like when Optimax came, everyone was so against it. You know, really, everyone was against it. I was one of the first one in Europe to drive the Optimax, and I don't know. Look now, F2 quite big right now.
Definitely. You're saying that changes is always positive, and Simon Whitehouse is saying, how difficult was it to leave the Maverick on the way back after your fantastic win in London to join Team Abu Dhabi? Did you look back, and have you ever made regret leaving them?
Like, especially after that one, like I really thank Cedric. He really saved maybe my career, or for me racing is everything. So he saved me, and I always will be thankful for Cedric and Maverick for that. It was one of the I never actually raced in a team that I didn't enjoy myself, but no, the guys in the team of Maverick are very, very nice people, and like first race, it felt like home.
French wine, bread, eat.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Who doesn't like that?
Yeah, we had such a good time, and I was there very short, but okay, I understand I put them in a bad situation, leaving them in the middle of the season, but when you get offers like this, you need to be a little bit selfish.
Of course. Was there any team orders? Christopher is asking to not pass the Victory 3 boat over in Florida.
No. Luciano, that is our manager, he just say the quickest boat win.
That's how I know Victory team as well.
Don't crash each other.
No, exactly. But then again, no team orders. I was watching the Class 1 World Final down in Abu Dhabi one year, and everybody was waiting for the Sheikh to post like an order who was going to win, because it was Victory 3 and Victory 7, and everybody was expecting, waiting. The night before, he just made a statement like, guys, let's go out and race, be safe. They raced so hard, they broke the Victory Class 1 boat in two, but they still finished the race. So
yeah, they are like that, and we even we were almost catching them on the third or fourth lap. We were almost past them because we had amazing speed.
I saw that.
And luckily, one of the engines went to Guardian mode, and it means that you lose all the power in it, and we need to go back to idle and then throttle again. So we lost both the chance for the win, and we lost Carpetella.
I am having a lot more questions popping in here now. I just changed the back photo. I just put up a Victory Class 1 boat. Let's see. Well, Brett, he has bought a DSC. How do the different boats compare? You raced a lot of different boats over the years. What is the difference on and how do you rate them?
What do you mean, like in the tunnel boats, like F1 or F2?
Yeah. You tried Mulgard, you tried DSC. Have you ever driven a Baba, for example?
Yeah, I had a short race in China, almost died. But
that was a bad one.
Yeah, I did a bad crash and ended up in hospital with a broken face, and I cut some tendons in my hand. And that was a short. It was not the Baba's fault, but that was my only race with Baba.
So no good feelings there.
No, like I say, it was not the boat's fault. It was a bad moment and unluck.
That's it. Well, let's see, Erik. We have some more questions here. Johannes is the promoter for the race weekend over in Finland, and he's on to the same thing. Sami Seljo has a team in Finland. Would you consider that, to have a team in Sweden with youngsters?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and
Marit has the same in Norway.
Yeah, I know. But of course, I have some interesting plans for the future and dreams, and I think right now I will Victory. We have a lot of work in Victory. They just started in Formula One, and it's quite full of me to do, and to have a team here in Sweden. I need some fundings, and it's not cheap to do this, and but I promise one day I will have my junior team.
That's a good promise from 6 times world champion Erik Stark. And who would not like to race for such a team? What do you think about the South African series? I see that the South African president, Christo de Jager, is on here now with thumbs up. He has been supporting you, and the promoter is here. Are you going to consider to pop down to South Africa and do some races down there?
I'm just not chit-chatting with Paul when I speak with him, No, but,
So it's
no,
not just love stories, is it?
no, it's not an old war stories. No, I don't know what's happening in the future, but of course, I really like the people there. I would, if I can do anything to help them and come there to support them, of course I will do it. And we will see. Again, the corona destroy everything. You can't even plan because you don't know what to plan. And
That's the thing, isn't it?
but I really hope they get the series back in running. I'm trying to help them because Victory has so many Formula 1 boats and Formula 2 boats in the workshop.
You got to keep them for a President Cup.
No, to sell them and maybe to get them to South Africa so we can get some newer boats there and they can put up a good show there and a good series.
Exactly. Christo, he wants you to tell us a bit about the few races you had in South Africa. I mean, I've seen boats going upside down like normal, and
I had my second race. I had a very nice battle with Christo's ex-wife.
Yeah, with Elsan.
Yeah,
not ex-wife. It was the wife who unfortunately passed away. But
okay.
Elsan
Okay,
Diakher, yeah, you had a good fight with her.
Yes, I think it's a video of that one. It was my first crash in a tunnel boat.
Really?
Because they had a boy in the middle of the straight.
Okay.
And she really pushed me into it, and the boy went like a ramp. Like I went straight up.
So you launched and flipped.
Yeah, and I was like so close to do a 360, but it just touched a little bit on the pickles,
That's it. Erik, if you should sum up a bit the different classes you raced. You raced the GT15, you raced the T400, which is nowadays the GT30. You raced the Formula 4, the Formula 2, Formula 1. I mean, obviously Formula 1 and Formula 2 is different, but where do you think it's most important for the drivers to get their school? Is it in the 50?
GT30.
30? GT30.
Yeah, for my it was T400.
Yeah.
There you learn how to fly a boat.
And Joachim Halvorsen, he's racing Formula 4, and he's asking, what do you think it's the hardest part with powerboat racing?
The hardest part?
Yes. Financial, physical?
Yeah, of course. Financial is, it's a small sport, and we're all battling to drive it. Yeah, of course. And no, Formula 1, physical, like your head always makes fun of you.
Mm.
I really battling sometimes with myself, and when you have been racing your whole life, and like you are your results, so when I do bad, like a few years, like 2018, that was 19, that started in the worst way. I really had a problem with myself, and it's the results makes you feel so bad, if you do bad, and then you hate yourself. And so of course it's hard, especially for me. Like maybe it's just for me, maybe I'm a weak person, I don't know, but
6-time world champion doesn't give any sign of it.
No, but it's not just, it's backsides of all the glory and all the success too. I have so many, like I told you before, so many good people around me that do this for me and help me with my mental strength, and my physical strength, and
How is a typical day now for you? How is a typical day now for you? I mean, we have the COVID-19 situation and everything is locked down. We don't know. How do you actually prepare yourself and tell
I
us a
think
bit?
many people want to know this,
Yes.
what my day looks like.
Yeah. Because Sean
No,
Parente says you're a fool in life. So,
yeah, especially him. He want to know.
yeah.
No, and normal day I go up maybe 8 9, and I train. I like it's different every day. Like maybe 3 4 days a week I help my friend with construction. I'm building kitchens and do some renovations. But I'm training, trying to make fun videos for Instagram. These last weeks I'm testing a lot in my chair in Formula One
Yeah.
for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
The days goes, and I have a workshop that I need to take care of, and it's always something to do.
And the $1 million question from Joachim is, what's your drive? I mean, what makes you still push and aim so hard for your goals? I mean, you reached, okay, you haven't won the Formula One world title yet, so obviously that can be one. But how do you keep motivating yourself?
I'm asking myself the same question because sometimes I'm asking myself, are you stupid or what? Like, get a real job,
Yeah.
No, I love this, it's my passion, and maybe one of the only thing I'm really good at. So, and I love the people. I love the environment. I love the team that's helped me, and people home that motivate me, and people all over the world that motivate me. So, I cannot stop because. Hey, what will my father do?
Yeah, he needs the hobby as well, eh?
Yes.
Have you ever worked with wind race props? Dinah Peterson is asking.
For sure, I tested them. Yeah, in T400 for sure. Never. I think never. I don't remember if they made Formula 2 props when I was doing it, or I used the props that Roland was helping me do. But then we used the valves, propellers. But in the smaller classes, I used the wind race.
And Johannes in Finland is asking if he could contact you and ask some of the experience you made in the academy in Sweden. So if that's okay, he will connect with you after the show and during next week or something.
For sure. Just give me my contact details and it's okay.
Perfect, perfect. Erik, you know what? We have been chatting about your race career. We had showed your highlights. We have showed your crashes. We had showed your ups and downs. You have made your way from the GT15 to the Class 1 and Formula 1. Racing Formula 1 and Class 1 for Victory Team is, in many eyes, the highest level you can reach. By saying that, we would like to wish you all the success, and we hope that we can see you race very soon. Will you come over and do the commentary for me again in Tønsberg if I can have the races on?
Frode, for you, everything.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Well, a lot of people are asking about the academy, Erik. So I know you're a sports guy. You love the races, and you are definitely going to share all your information and help. So
let's contact me on my Facebook page, and I will answer as quick as I can.
Perfect, Erik. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful evening. Wish you good luck.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much for everything.